people of the internet and YouTube. Much like a great many unboxing videos you've seen, I'm sure, this is the unboxing of the Xbox One X. Unlike those videos, this one is ours. So we do appreciate you tuning in and watching up until this point. My name is Dwight. This is my brother.
My name is Dwayne. How y'all doing, Xbox fan?
All right. And we'll be, like I said, doing an unboxing of the Xbox One X. Just a little backstory for us, just to let you know who we are, what we do. We've been gaming since as far back as I can remember. Being this is my brother, I can be pretty self-assured to be able to speak for him in that regard. Since the 2600, Commodore, all that stuff been going forward. So avid gamers, to say the least. We both bought our systems through a big box retail store. Both bought them online. I elected to pick mine up through pickup at store.
I got mine through UPS, straight to the door.
We had it delivered straight to the door. There was some thought amongst us what was the better way to go as far as getting your system fastest, getting your system, without being beat up or tattered, in severe fashion one way or the other. I won in that discussion because my system I picked up on launch day without a scratch on it, locked up in the cage without anybody touching it. So it was definitely pristine. My brother, on the other hand,
I didn't have that big of a problem. It's just like a little bit of crunch on the side. That's to the house with UPS.
Yeah.
The thing,
Definitely-
Microsoft didn't.
a definite dent in the box.
Well, Microsoft didn't spend no expense with the cushion. There's a pretty big cushion on there, so I don't think I would have a problem out of it.
Yeah, the system probably is fine. One thing I was looking at when checking out the systems and just reading stuff on the internet is that there's a production number on every system. My production number is 010501317. Preparing for this video, just various things to talk about.
Yeah, the same as mine.
Yeah, it's the same as his. Long story short. So, from my understanding, I thought that was a production number, but we both have the exact same production number, which is weird in and of itself.
Something that's just something making the pool that's nothing to do with the production number.
Yeah, everybody with the same number. It's a little cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, again, production number. I'm not exactly sure what that's about. Them both being the same actual number. Just a little bit of information about the system, like I'm sure y'all already know.
It's awesome.
It's powerhouse. 6 terabytes of processing power in this system. We actually have a vapor cooled chamber in the system to help with the cooling of the high powered innards of the Xbox One X. So vapor cooling, you gotta love that. And what set the trend off with the Xbox One S, it definitely does have an internal power supply, so no more brick, which I never really had too much of a gripe in regards to the power bricks of the previous Xbox systems.
Man, I had a lot of trouble trying to find some place to put it.
Yeah,
Even though I straightened up the back line panel rather well, it's still a pot of wires on wires, so that's not.
you put it behind your entertainment system and basically forget about it, like any other normal human being. So, but needless to say, that's not even a point of contention anymore because it's inside the system, so no external power supply to deal with.
Yeah, Microsoft can't do much wrong with this guy, but they needed an internal power supply.
I do love me some Microsoft. I will give you that. They haven't done any wrong in my eyes in a long time. Maybe some speed bumps along the way, but nothing too dramatic that would make me turn tail or jump ship, as it were. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and start the unboxing. Let you know, it'd kind of be redundant to unbox both of the systems side by side.
Yeah, same thing I was saying.
Yeah, that is the same thing he was saying. So we're gonna unbox them to show the systems, and then after that, I'll go ahead and just unbox the individual components of mine, going forward from there.
I'm gonna have a race. Look, bam! Wow, they got a stand in there. And there's the system. Let's pass the unboxing on the internet.
Alright, so now that he didn't spare through and did whatever he did, I'll go through piece by piece. Alright, so first thing we have in here is a packet of passes and giveaways that Microsoft is pretty known for. First up is Game Pass, which basically is like the Netflix of game that Microsoft is in my eyes, got a pretty good start on. Basically just games a la carte. You subscribe to that service and you just basically can pick through the 100 plus games that they have available for you to try on a monthly basis and complete, to completion. So that's pretty cool. Netflix of gaming has it. This, on the other hand, experience the performance of Elite. Okay, so it's basically just giving you the availability. I actually already have one myself, the Elite gaming controller. So just trying to entice people into going and getting the Elite controller, which I personally would advocate doing so. It's really good controller. Fully customizable. If there's any gripes that you would have on customizations for a given game, that's out the window because this Elite controller basically does all those things for you as far as configuration. Just quick setup. So that's all. Next thing up.
But I really don't have a problem with the normal controller. You ever seem to have a problem with the normal controller?
No.
That you find something wrong with it?
Not at all. But it's out there for you to kill.
Nothing wrong with the regular controller. You're doing fine.
Okay, so that's the stand. You put the system in a vertical position if you choose to. Alright, much like my brother's system. Just leave it like that for the moment. Black monolith. And next up is the controllers and just hookups. So you have your Xbox One X controller. Okay, Project Scorpio edition. Pretty cool, you gotta love that. Oh, Project Scorpio edition. And then we have the normal stuff. HDMI cable, which actually is pretty cool because it's high-speed 4K compatible HDMI cable. Not an easy cable to come across even in retail right now to get correctly. So that's included in the box. To backtrack, one thing I forgot to mention on the controller that actually a lot of unboxing videos don't mention is that if you look really closely at the Xbox button on this controller, you'll see that there's no grooves or seams in that spot. That's how you determine that this is actually an Xbox One controller that is Bluetooth compatible. So not only does it have the proprietary Microsoft wireless communications to communicate with the Xbox, but it also has Bluetooth compatibility built into it for you to use with any Bluetooth compatible device, PC, that type of thing. So I find this to be really convenient for when you're playing games on your laptop or on your computer, that you can connect directly with Bluetooth and get a game. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's all right.
Right. Typical AA batteries for your controller, and like we were saying before, this is the only thing that constitutes a power supply for the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. As it were, there is no power supply, only a small thin cable, which we love. So that's cool. Hopefully there's no going back for the power supply. So that's cool. Like I said, needless to say. Ready to go ahead and unwrap your system as well? You're doing that?
Sure, why not?
Alright, this is the time code you're gonna do. That's it. Beautiful system wrapped in protective paper.
Top, change the bottom.
There we go. Xbox One X Scorpio edition. It is a heavy system, to say the least. Definitely heavier than any previous system before. Maybe not excluding the original OG Xbox. The original Xbox, I remember just from memory, it being a pretty hefty and heavy system. So that's that system. So pretty cool. Yeah, I love that. I'm not putting my stand on at the moment. I think it's pretty safe to put it set up here like that for now. Way, because what we'll do is look at this in more detail. So this is the system itself. Project Scorpio system, like I said before. If you haven't already, which that's the back. You know, all your standard setups. I mean, if anybody that's owned an Xbox one before, they certainly know the layout of the back of the system. There's nothing changed there, so nothing's changed there. And then I'll just go through it for you. That's the power input. This is HDMI out, goes into your television, HDMI in for your cable box or any other HDMI component you want to put into it. You have your USB 1 and 2 slots, a IR in slot, optical slot, and Ethernet slot. So everything that you would need for modern day gaming, to say the least. That's the Xbox One X. So those here for us.
What about the IR blaster in the front?
Mention it. You want to mention it? Mention it. IR blaster in front. Alright, so that's that. That's essentially it. There's not a whole lot to the system other than gaming on it. You know, once you actually get it out of the box, the festivities are pretty much over in short order, other than running to your closest television and setting it up. What we would like to do also though is we do a little
Ultra Blu-ray.
It has Ultra Blu-rays.
Yeah, that's the only thing you do is gaming on it. You do a lot more than gaming on it.
You heard Dwayne, he said it. You do a lot more than gaming on it. That is right. Alright, so let's go ahead and
what did you do on it?
do a
You
side.
played Ultra Blu-ray Blu-rays.
I've been doing enough talking. Go ahead.
You have Netflix playback with other apps, and you got voice functionality all built in that.
This is true.
And a lot more than that. I just can't think of all the amazing things it does.
Those are some of the highlights, that's for sure. So, there you go. So this is the original system. I'm gonna take your system and put it here as well. So just have it in frame. Xbox One X, you got left. All right. So in a nutshell, that's the Xbox One X. At this point, we'll do a size comparison. Xbox One X Scorpio, Project Scorpio editions. Compared to the original Xbox One. Now, these two is the ones we'll compare directly since they don't have to stand on my system. But as you can see, there's at least about an inch difference, or a couple, you know what I mean? It's close to an inch difference, you know, as far as height goes. So when you're standing vertical, you know, you definitely notice that difference in your entertainment center. But where the original Xbox One, a good system. I mean, there's no doubt in that. That's a good system. But it definitely does, as far as the sheer size of it, gives you the appearance of a VCR. Again, knowing games on the system for pure aesthetics, that's just a lot of the common gripes you would hear online about the original Xbox One. You know, stacking them on top of each other, you can definitely tell a difference between the size comparison in itself. And actually, let's get that style on again.
Put it back like this.
I'm gonna put it on the styrofoam so you know what's happening when you gotta make a face. So, you know, just look at the system just from that respect, you can definitely tell. A lot smaller, a lot more pleasing and appealing to the eyes. So that's the original Xbox versus the Xbox One X. Next up is the Xbox One S. Which weighs up? This weighs up. This one also can be stood on its side, but I don't have a stand for it. Oh, and a little side note, the Xbox One S stand is not compatible with the Xbox One X. So it's two different purchases. The one that you get in the box of the Xbox One Project Scorpio or Xbox One X system will not work with the project or with the Xbox One S system. So they both can't stand vertical, but only one system. Each system stands are only compatible, you know, with one another. They don't go back and forth as far as being compatible to allow it to stand up. This one's a lot closer comparison. It'll probably be even difficult to tell in the video itself, the size comparison. But the Xbox One S is a hair smaller, you know, in vertical position than the X. But where it outshines it, the X outshines the S, is definitely in its vertical position. It's a smaller system overall. millimeters, just to say the least. Smaller system when you combine everything together, but a smaller system nonetheless. And to say that the S is capable of rendering 4K video. The X is the whole deal. 4K video, 4K gaming. There's 4K and HDMI that you're interested in, then the X is definitely the way to go. Whereas the S is more for multimedia. When I say multimedia, I mean video. You can do 4K video streaming and 4K Blu-ray plays between the two of them. But that's all that the Xbox One S is capable of, whereas the X can do everything across the board, from gaming, 4K, video streaming 4K, and yes, Ultra HD Blu-ray players. So you'll get 4K across the board on the X system.
And apps, 4K apps, those should be soon to come.
Yeah, 4K apps as well. You know, once you see those come down the line in the Microsoft store. So that's essentially it. There's not a whole lot you can say, or that I can say in regards to the Xbox One X, other than glowing, opinion and review as far as what I've seen and played of it so far. But we're talking about my own personal edition at this point. True gamer, wasn't gifted to me by anyone. My own hard-earned money went towards my system itself, much like my brother next to me. Not to say that I would frown upon anybody that got one for free. I would certainly love to be in that lucky number of people that would be able to get a free system. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And in my case, it's paramount that I get a system at launch for the Xbox One X. That's essentially it. Wrap up the video with this unboxing. Hope you appreciated it and enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. The video, subscribe to the channel. It would be definitely appreciated. You can reach me on various outlets. Just a shout out. If you're interested in catching up with me online, Twitter. I provide for Epic Evo Gaming. So content there. You can also find me on Mixer, on Refugee X. I'm also on Twitch, on Refugee II, and also, of course, on Xbox itself. OG Xbox gamer. Me, myself personally, I've been on Xbox since the day Xbox Live opened, and the day the OG original Xbox became available for sale. I was first in line. Just knew that Microsoft wouldn't slouch in the gaming arena, and had a lot of high hopes on what they could actually bring to the table. And these 15 some odd years later, give or take, I think they've done just that. And again, my Xbox Live gamer tag is Refugee, REFUGEE. Anything you want to plug before we wrap the video up?
You can contact me on the official Xbox Gamers Club on Xbox Club. So you can check out some of my videos on YouTube at CyberThug1080i.
So you don't get the game tag?
Yeah, figure it out.
Alright, with that being the case, I guess you're going to figure it out. Thanks for viewing and have a good day. Yeah, let's see. Alright. To be the Netflix of gaming.
I really like the
Basically
packaging, how it came in.
Yeah.
It's really like, it's just cushions, but the way it's sitting up there, it looks like an eye. And I like the letter I.
I'm telling you, stupid. What's wrong with you? You don't know how to communicate with people?
Yeah.
No, you're apparently not.
It's a video game, video,